my time, my grind. Promise I'ma do what's right. Open eyes, see the sign. Now I give it all I got. This is not what you think.
Some people call this video late. I consider it fashionable. Hello my chancers, my name is Chun and it's time to have some fun with the GCA Awards for 2016. Also, apologies about the terrible Mandarin impression, my bad. Wow, 2016 was shit. For a lot of reasons and in many ways 2016 was a bad year, leaving many to believe that 2017 has the easiest job in the world improving upon it. 2016 was so terrible, I literally had to take some time to think about these awards. I've even had to write a script for this video. See? I'm not lying. Anyway, without any more beating around the bush, it's time to start issuing some awards.
Wrestler of the Year.
In fairness, 2016 has seen some quality wrestling in both the WWE and the Indies. Yeah, alright, there's also been purified awful wrestling too. It is 2016 after all, but in general it has been pretty goddamn good. I mean, I even started a podcast, it was so good. As a result, it seems only fair to acknowledge the wrestlers that have helped make wrestling genuinely good this year. And the nominees are the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura, the glorious Bobby Roode, the phenomenal AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and the greatest of all time, the king of the world, the sexiest pinata in the world, baby! He is here to save us all. He will add you to the list if you're not happy with him, and, well, drink the nomination in, man. It's Chris Jericho. In case you couldn't tell from me going through practically every Chris Jericho catchphrase for his entire career. And the winner is the phenomenal AJ Styles. I mean, how could it not be? I mean, seriously, the man's had just about the best debut year in WWE ever. From his debut at the Royal Rumble, which no one saw, thanks production crew, to beating John Cena clean, like WTF, OMG, backdocking! AJ pinned John Cena clean, something a nuclear bomb would have a tough time doing. He's so phenomenal, not even Superman Cena could kick out at the last second. And then getting the largest pops consistently despite being a heel throwing cheap heat around like baseballs. Just for the American fans out there, you understand? I ask again, how could it not be? Therefore, I declare AJ Styles, the man who made beating up John Cena cool, winner! I'd also like to thank the winner, PJ Jones, for kindly providing that soundbite on WrestleCast, my aforementioned wrestling podcast. Movie of the Year! This is tough. Screen Junkies movie fights, anyone? I've seen a lot of movies that I really enjoyed this year, and picking a winner was always going to be hard. Like choosing between the airport scene and the deadpan comedy of Deadpool to Batfleck. Come on, Ben. Turn that frown upside down. It's not the end of the world. I mean, you're actually really, really good in Batman vs Superman. And then you had La La Land. Yeah, this is tough. And the nominees are Captain America Civil War, Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice. Hey, don't hate, I liked the movie. Shut up, I liked it. I really did, I promise, I liked it. I liked Batman vs Superman, don't question me. Deadpool, yeah, a bit easier to defend. Suicide Squad, again, see the argument I made for Batman v Superman. And Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And the winner is Captain America Civil War. I think you probably saw that one coming, right? To be fair, this could have gone very wrong indeed. When you look at all the returning characters and the plethora of new ones, this had the potential to be a real clusterfuck. Despite that, Civil War managed to do everyone's service. Black Panther had real motivations and felt quite fleshed out, enough so to build familiarity for his upcoming solo movie. Spider-Man was a delight while holding back to full potential, tantalising but not frustrating. Even Zemo, who basically rehashed Loki's plan, wasn't as bad as most Marvel villains, and unlike Loki, Zemo actually did something to make them fight, rather than just sort of bringing them together in one room and then sort of hoping, fingers crossed, super duper, pray to God, that they actually fight. Civil War seemed to actually raise the stakes, and now it's going to be fascinating seeing how things move forward with half of the Avengers in prison. So once again, your winner, Captain America Civil War. Yeah, by the way, that whole winner thing from Peter Jones, that was just for the wrestling, because it was wrestling. Cool. It is now time for Car of the Year. Cars seem to get better year on year. They get faster, more equipment, more comfy and more economical daily. It's getting to the point where hot hatchbacks are producing as much power as the BMW M3 E46 from 10 years ago. Now that's progress. You know what else is progress? The Bugatti Chiron. The relentless progression of time has produced some staggering machinery this year, and on that note, the nominees are the BMW M2, the Bugatti Chiron, the Honda NSX, the McLaren 570S, and the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. And no, I'm not going to do the Grand Tour joke of pretending I don't know how to pronounce that name, because I do, because I'm a nerd, and I accept that. And the winner is the McLaren 570S. Now, in fairness, I am a bit biased as I sort of drove this car at the Top Gear track last year. This thing is incredible, okay? I drove a Nissan GTR, a Porsche 911 Turbo, an Audi R8, a Jaguar F-Type, a Ferrari 458, and a Lamborghini Aventador on the same day, and none of them, I do mean none of them, came close to the McLaren. The McLaren was the best of sort of all of them rolled into one car. I mean, it is seriously fast. I mean, it has a twin turbo, 3.8 litre V8, producing 562 brake horsepower with 443 pounds per square foot of torque. It manages 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds and has a top speed of 203 miles per hour. So yeah, it's no slouch. And by the way, an entry-level supercar does all that. I mean, that's impressive. That's seriously impressive. The other thing is, the McLaren sort of grips like hell. I mean, it just goes around any corner, feels unburdened, and through the actually really nicely set up steering and chassis, you can feel everything. It's like it's just talking to you the whole time. It's the ultimate chatterbox. It's awesome. It really is. I mean, it also looks good. Now, I know styling is a subjective thing, but to me and my eyes, this is a very pretty supercar. I mean, when I was there at the Top Gear track, this thing was eye-catching. So yeah, I think it looks good. I like the way it looks, and it looks exactly how I would hope it would. There's also the fact that the interior is ridiculously nice. I mean, it is a nice interior. It's so clean and nicely laid out, and it's so clear and just genuinely quite pretty. It really is quite pretty. I mean, it's not plush, it's no Rolls Royce, don't get me wrong, but it's really quite good. And then you have the noise, which, yeah, no, okay, it's not the best sound in the market, but it's still pretty goddamn good. And then you have the price. I mean, this car is really cheap. £143,250 to be exact. Okay, well, when I say cheap, I mean it's cheap relative to the performance that it brings. Remembering that I told you it blew away a Lamborghini Aventador, which last I checked cost £300,000 new. So, in short, I could gush for years how much I love this car, but I won't, and I'll leave it at this. Your winner, the McLaren 570S, everybody. It is now time for the worst decision of the year. Oh boy, have there been some bad ones. The WWE continuing to push Roman Reigns as the top babyface springs to mind. But let's not beat around the bush, shall we? 2016 saw terrible decisions made politically. Yup, it's that point where we must address politics. Normally that would be a dull topic and have absolutely no place in a fun video of mine. That said, politics have been odd in 2016, so the nominees are Brexit, which according to Credit Suisse, which is a Swiss credit company, in case you couldn't tell from the name, has reported that Brexit has hurt the British economy to the tune of £1.5 trillion. Yeah, just gonna let that sink in for a moment. The US electing Donald Trump as President of the US. And the winner is electing Donald Trump. Just to put this into sharp focus immediately and concisely, this scenario was portrayed as a joke on The Simpsons. Literally a joke. I mean, Brexit was bad, but this felt like an attempt to one-up the Brits on the whole moron scale thing. Here is a man who has had more business fails than wins, and inherited a vast sum of money from his father, so he's not exactly a self-made man. He was also caught saying he would do it with his daughter. Oh, okay, admittedly he said, if I weren't her father, but he's still thinking about doing it with his daughter! That's just incest! He's incestuous, is what he is. Not to mention that, but he also suggested that you should grab women by the vagina, which must be a real punt to the pussy of feminists everywhere. And to cap it all off, you had the garbage he spewed about his policies and stances. I mean, he wants to build a wall to keep the Mexicans out. He said, build that wall! He said that! I'm not paraphrasing, he said literally, build that wall. Then, he says he wants to deport ethnics. Deport them, he said. Now, this is all sounding rather familiar. So well done, United States of America. Well done. On to happier topics. It's now time for Song of the Year. Oh, I said happier topics, didn't I? Oh, sweet Jesus, has it been a bad year for music. Picking a winner from this year has been like walking up to a cesspool with a load of rotten eggs in it and then picking the one with the least shit on it. I literally don't have anything from 2016 on my iPod. Now, if you held a gun to my head with Brock Lesnar on the trigger, exactly my point, and then forced me to pick one, I'd have to go with Closer by the Chainsmokers featuring Halsey. I mean, I guess it's kind of catchy-ish. And, well, I mean, at least it's not completely detestable. As a result, I've had to bend the rules of this award a little bit, and I'm going to nominate the songs that I've been listening to personally this year. Which, as we've already stated, is got nothing from the pop charts. So the nominees are Exit the Premises by Kevin MacLeod, You Are the Best Around by Joe Esposito, Narcissistic Cannibal by Korn, Demigods by Lab Rats featuring Slim Jim, Something Good by Nicholas Helg and Mount, Until We Go Down by Ruel featuring Listen Bee, Glorious Domination by WWE and CFO $, and The Rising Sun by WWE and CFO $. And the winner is... I mean, just listen to it. Pause the video and listen to it now. Click the link on the screen and listen to it. Now you get it, don't you? This song makes a great life soundtrack, just ask my deputy manager at work. It is also great to sing along to full volume and easy to learn. It's very catchy and, well, put simply, it is absolutely glorious. Game of the Year. Gaming is getting harder to enjoy these days, as so many publishers seem to be going shady. I mean, can you ever really trust reviews these days, knowing that Nintendo only allows people who say nice things about their products to review the products? On top of that, there are persisting issues in games. For instance, endlessly large day one patches, the need to install all the games to your hard drive even though you have a disc, and then still actually need the disc to be able to play the game, unfinished products being released and finished through patches. God, that drives me insane. Pre-order bonuses, meaning that people have already bought the game and therefore you don't really need to finish the game at all until people complain about the fact that it's not finished. Microtransactions running rampant throughout the industry. Oh god, I really wish that would stop. And crowdfunding projects, where they just take all the money and fuck off. Yeah, lots to like about gaming there. But despite that, I have managed to enjoy plenty of games this year, and without further ado, the nominees are Battlefield 1, WWE 2K17, Motorsport Manager for the PC, and Planet Coaster. And the winner is, it's Planet Coaster. Frontier Studios have saved us from the impending shitfest that is the miserable soulless cash grab Rollercoaster Tycoon world. What they have done is produce a truly stunning sequel to RCT3. This is a game which is packed full of charm and life. The level of detail you can go into is stunning with the powerful editing tool that they provide. And if you don't believe me, just go and search on YouTube Planet Coaster creations, and I mean, it is absolutely jaw-dropping to see what the community has come up with. From recreations to original rides, it truly is quite stunning what you can build in Planet Coaster. On top of all this, the soundtrack is wonderful and lovely. I mean, this is a game that makes you feel good when you play it. And I mean, isn't that the whole point of video games after all? So there we are, the winner is, and rightfully so, Planet Coaster. Sports Personality of the Year. You know, I'm going to admit, it has been a very fun year for sport. The Olympics were good fun, and in general things have been good. I'm not going to lie though, there isn't really a whole lot I can say about sport in the intro to this award because I'm normally at work when it's on. So, straight to the nominees. And the nominees are Roger Federer, and well, the winner is Roger Federer, let's just be honest. And he will be the winner until he retires. So I would also like to announce that after he won his 18th Grand Slam title in the Australian Open, the winner of Sports Personality of the Year 2017 is Roger Federer. And assuming he is still playing after that, the winner of Sports Personality of the Year 2018 is Roger Federer. And for all of the years that I wasn't doing these awards, the Sports Personality of the Year for all of those years is Roger Federer. Okay, now before I go on, I will tell you who else I was considering for this award this year, and they are Andy Murray after climbing up to the #1 spot in world tennis, Max Verstappen for genuinely providing some jaw-dropping racing in Formula 1, Amanda Nunes for absolutely dominating two of the women that made women's fighting in the UFC popular. I mean, that's not me saying that, that's Dana White in when she beat Miesha Tate and Ronda Rousey, in case you haven't heard. Then you have Nico Rosberg, who was the Drivers' Champion for this year, and Jenson Button for kind of similar reasons why I actually made Federer the winner. But back to Federer. What makes him is that not only is he incredible at what he does, and I mean he is incredible at what he does, he's now an 18-time Grand Slam winner, he is also extremely humble. It might be the Swiss in him, but there is no sense of ego at all with Roger. He is always gracious in defeat and understated in victory, and still seems to cherish every single win like it was his first. He is also super stylish and classy and cool. I mean, look at him. He's so cool, he's keeping the ice caps from melting by himself. I cannot say a bad thing about Roger, and he is the man who inspired me to pick up a racket myself. As you can probably tell from my other nominees, I also love Formula 1. And it says a lot that my biggest markout moment of the year watching Formula 1 came when Roger Federer appeared on TV at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And even though it was his first race that he'd been to, you could see that he was taking all the information Mercedes were providing him in and showing genuine interest. And when he was interviewed on TV, he offered a great insight into the mindset of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, who were both going for the World Championship. He was able to tell you what Lewis would be thinking, having won many Grand Slams and championships himself, and he was also able to tell you what Nico would be thinking because he knows what it's like to go and win your first one. I mean, he's a true class act, and he's your winner. Ladies and gentlemen, Roger Federer. Wrestling Match of the Year. I told you earlier in this video that 2016 has been good for in-ring wrestling, and because this video is starting to go on a little bit, I think it's time to focus on the matches themselves and go straight to the nominees, which are the men's 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, Kevin Owens vs Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell, AJ Styles vs
John Cena
at SummerSlam, AJ Styles vs Roman Reigns at Payback, the Royal Rumble match 2016, obviously, Kevin Owens vs Dean Ambrose, The Undertaker vs Shane McMahon, Chris Jericho vs AJ Styles at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar vs Goldberg at Survivor Series. I mean, who saw that coming? Am I right? Am I right? Who saw that coming? Yeah, I know I'm right. AJ Styles vs Dean Ambrose at TLC, and The Rock vs Eric Rowan. Okay, no jokes. Seth Rollins vs Finn Balor. And then DIY vs The Revival, 2 out of 3 falls. And the winner is the phenomenal AJ Styles vs
John Cena
at SummerSlam. I have already mentioned that AJ Styles did what not even the end of the world could achieve and pin John Cena clean, something which brought untold joy to my heart. This match was mostly a spot-filled, move-for-move, false finish fest of a match, but even so, it featured great selling and nice psychology, allowing the fans to digest and dissect the big moves that they had just seen, and really sink themselves into the atmosphere. And it's that which makes this match so much better in my opinion than Will Ospreay vs Ricochet at New Japan Pro Wrestling, because you get to appreciate what you just saw rather than just moving on to the next flip. It's also worth noting that they had great matches at the Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank. And with that in mind, I truly believe that AJ Styles vs John Cena for the WWE World title deserved to be the main event at WrestleMania 33. I mean, I just want the main event of WrestleMania to be the match that steals the show for once. And that is why AJ Styles vs
John Cena
at SummerSlam is the winner of Match of the Year 2016. YouTube Channel of the Year. In fairness, YouTube is getting a bit odd at the moment and has had some weird controversies, limiting channels more than ever. Decisions were made to promote only the big channels, making it harder for anybody who's small to get started. Copyright is tighter than ever, and it feels almost impossible to make a video without getting a copyright claim put on it. Even retrospectively, even the videos that were fine before are no longer fine. They also thought about bringing in community policing to a point where you had to be sort of like a special person in the community. But that would make the trolling unbearable. I mean, it would have made it so that one single person with a vendetta could have completely destroyed a YouTube channel. And things like that have contributed to the changes, in my belief, seen in the PewDiePie videos, where now he sort of seems to just vlog rather than sort of produce games, and he says he's enjoying it, but at the same time, I can't help but think that's because video game companies keep putting copyright strikes on things, which happened to my entire Metal Gear Solid Let's Play. Oh dear. And that's just the thing with YouTube at the moment, it is getting odd. But even with all of that going on, there have been some channels that have been producing some very entertaining content this year. And with that said, the nominees are What Culture, the wrestling channel, the gaming channel, and the normal channel, Screen Junkies, Magikarp Use Fly, and Mr. Sark. And the winner is What Culture. It's an ensemble channel producing content on a great many topics and subjects, most notably, and the most popular of which being the wrestling part. The top 10 lists are seriously entertaining and lead the way ahead of Watch Mojo, who are just seriously boring in comparison. For entertainment-based YouTube channels, What Culture leads the way. And now we have to address the Blampiade in the room. Blampiade? Blampide? Blamposaurus? Blampus? The Blandy Blampy Blamps Adam? Okay, I'm gonna stop. His cynical attitude, coupled with complete dry delivery with inside jokes and comic timing, makes Adam a class act on YouTube. I mean, just go and watch videos like the 10 things WWE wants you to forget about Brock Lesnar, the 10 times wrestling got real, the 10 dumbest Harry Potter plot holes, and if you want something alternative, the 15 photos taken just before the person died video, because that video highlights how Adam Blampiade is able to do comedy and yet at the very same time do lists that are very, very, very serious and touching, which adds a sort of certain gravitas and flexibility to what he does. I mean, he is literally better to binge watch than Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones. In fact, you may have noticed that a couple of comments made about Cena earlier were a little bit inspired by Blampiade and What Culture. In fact, you could call them shit What Culture knockoff comments for wankers. Hashtag shit What Culture knockoff comments for wankers. Yeah, that basically the whole video was building up to that, and that wasn't very satisfying. I'm sorry. So yeah, the winner is What Culture. TV Show of the Year Award. There is no doubting that TV is immensely popular these days. TV shows that we love to binge watch attract as much hype as the latest blockbuster movies, for goodness sake. One thing is sure, the shows that we all watch have been very good this year. So without further ado, the nominees are Game of Thrones, 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown, The Grand Tour, and okay, I was considering nominating Gotham, which really wouldn't be a very popular choice in the end, but I like the show. The only reason I can't really mention Gotham too much is the fact that the Jerome plotline that has recently been absolutely excellent, and further cementing my view that perhaps, people are so going to shoot me for saying this, Cameron Monaghan might just be the best person to ever play a Joker character ever. I might have to make a video defending that at one point, so yeah, come at me, shoot me, I bet you go, you probably already have. Never mind. Anyway, that plotline happened in 2017, so I feel kind of remiss in actually really seriously nominating Gotham. I just felt like I had to mention it because the show just doesn't get the love it needs, or deserves, because it's telling some very, very intricate storylines, weaving its own universe for itself, which is, I think, is what's pissing people off. I mean, in my opinion, I'm glad they're making their own universe. I mean, why would you want Gotham to just go and make the same story you've seen a million and one times again and again and again? Why would you want them to just do that? Wouldn't you rather see like an original vision with these characters? I do, and that's why I like Gotham. Anyway, the winner is The Grand Tour. Isn't it obvious? Now, cast your mind back to the news that Jeremy Clarkson was sacked from the BBC. Not a pleasant memory, I'm sure. Then remember that Hammond and May left too. We all thought that that would be the end of Top Gear, and the glory days of car reviews on TV were long behind us. And Chris Harris aside, after the last series of Top Gear, you'd probably be correct. And then the Grand Tour came along, and thank God it did. There isn't much to say about the Grand Tour really, other than the fact that it's exactly the same as Top Gear used to be. As soon as the first videotape rolled of the Holy Trinity, it felt like good old familiar, like cozying up to a nice log fire on a cold winter's night with a faithful old Labrador at your side. And if you got that reference, then good for you. Here, have a gold star. The point is, the Grand Tour is absolutely everything you hoped it would be, and a little bit more, because Amazon have sort of just let them off the leash a bit, and they're going a bit crazy, which I love, by the way. And for that reason alone, it is good enough to be the winner of Television Show of the Year Awards. So ladies and gentlemen, you must now proceed to shiver in the cold shadow of the Grand Tour's excellence. So now that you're all shivering, there it is! It's the GCA Awards 2016. Here's hoping that 2017 is a bit better than it was. Also, sorry for being so late. I was going to make this a podcast, but I never really got it organised, so I had to come up with something else. And this was it. So I hoped you liked it. If you did, then maybe like and subscribe. I'm the Chun from Glen Chun, and I will see all of you in the next video. Whenever that will be, because I don't really tend to upload that much anymore. Yeah, so you might be waiting a while, but hopefully I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!